Welcome to Leaders in Light, Love, and Legacy, airing every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're on Zen Radio /Fave Unite Radio FM. I'm Joy Ruffen, a leadership and signature style specialist, your minister of enlightenment. Oh, I love saying this, awareness and awakenings, because that's where we're at right here and now. We're here every Tuesday diving into honest conversations about power, presence, and purpose. I'll be sitting down each week with a featured guest speaker and sometimes doing a solo who will bring you fresh insights on the divine masculine and the divine feminine and all that it entails, because we all carry both, no matter our gender within us. It's about alignment, leadership, and building a legacy that's true to you. So whether you're listening in for inspiration, direction, or just a new perspective, it's all meant to stir something in you. Remember, there's always more waiting for you at joyruffen.com. Now, I've given you a new name. My League of Eagles. Get comfortable and let me share with you a little bit about the bio of my featured guest speaker today. I've known this lovely lady for quite a while. She is admirable, lovable, and respectable in every way, and her work is full of love and compassion. I have a hard time with pronunciations. I didn't get that English class in school, and everybody who knows me, they know that. But she's kind, gracious, and considerate. And I think her name is Saskia Christian, and she is a corporate leader. She labels herself a global award-winning founder, executive trainer, and human sustainability consultant. We're going to talk a lot today about the Power Within anthology, and we're going to talk about it as it relates to all the work that she's doing as she leads this transformative burnout into breakout. With over 18 years of engineering, leadership experience in the corporate trenches, oh, I like that. She blends hard-won experiences with cutting-edge resilience, training to help professionals. And you know, here we really work with the Eagles, those who are spreading their wings and are professional, to navigate into the high-stress environments without losing their edge or their souls. She's the founder of Boost Through. Oh, I love that name. A consultant at the intersection of human sustainability. Trauma-informed leadership and performance coaching. That's what she's all about. And I know you can't wait to say hello and greet her. So let's say hello to Saskia Christian. Hello, my lady.
Well, hello there, Joy. It's always a pleasure being on your platform. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good today. I'm going good every day, even when I'm not. And so are you. That's what I know about you. And that's what I love. You know, Saskia, the work that you do is admirable. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to do the work that you're doing now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All the listeners out there, it's just an honor for you to join in and just hear all this goodness on such an amazing platform. Thank you so much. So I'm actually the founder of Boost Through, which is a multi-platform life transformation coaching service that's dedicated to helping professionals overcome their adversities, their challenges, and become the best version of themselves, their purpose-driven self. I focus on human sustainability and trauma-informed leadership, aiming really to empower professionals to thrive, even in challenging environments. So that's really what I'm about. I have a plethora of books, of anthologies that I've written, all in the name of resilience and empowerment. I've been hosting the Breaking Barriers interview series, where I help women executive leaders to really get their voice out there, pour all those leadership insights on their resilience building journey and emotional intelligence application, so that we can actually help aspiring women executive leaders in the pipeline. So I'm really all about giving back, uplifting, and the power within.
I love it, love it, love it, love it for all the reasons. That's why you're here, because we're so aligned in what we're doing. We're on different avenues, lanes, but the work is connected. Tell us before we get deep into the work you do and how you do it, and we're going to go through a lot of these bullet points that you shared with me, Saskia. I'm going to ask you, how did you come up with this name, which I love it. The founder of Boost Through, Get Through It, Thrive, and so on.
Yes.
How did you come to that name?
Yes, it's indeed a phenomenal one. I'm grateful. So I thought about what did I have to do to really get over on the other side, to break through boundaries and limitations that were established by mostly others, because they really didn't have any accurate perception of who I was, right? Who I am, my capabilities, my purpose for being here. And so I was able to evolve and take a leap over all those boundaries and end up in a triumphant space where I can actually lend a helping hand and be able to take others over with me. So that's really the boost. It's more of like a powerful, entrance into a new space that I was meant to occupy, so that others can follow. Other amazing women and men, professional leaders out there can also follow in that space.
Saskia, I love the way you explain that, because what you did, and you did it so courageously, which is what it takes. You took a leap of faith, and rather than breakthrough, you went to boost through, to get over all the boundaries and all the things that hold us back, and to get us up and out and over to thrive and to more than survive at what we're doing. The work that you're doing is so admirable, and it's to be commended, because no matter what level of success you're at, you need this kind of understanding of what it is to thrive and to be uplifted. All the time you were sharing that with us. So here's what came to me, because you gave me this bullet point. In doing this, how did you embrace your vulnerability, and how are you supporting others to get to recognize and embrace theirs? Vulnerability. That's a biggie.
Yes. And that is indeed one of the powerful themes that I'm happy that we are exploring here today in the name of Power Within, which is my debut anthology, a series of 10 books, but the first one from corporate loss to entrepreneurial triumph. So really, embracing vulnerability to me involves recognizing and accepting one's own weaknesses, fears, and uncertainties. It's that willingness, right, to be open, to be transparent about one's challenges, which fosters really authenticity and deeper connections with others. And that's what we're here for. We want to hear about the true experiences so that people can feel the journey. I'm inviting resilient women out there, 101 resilient women out there, to share their transformative and empowering stories, right? Let others feel and experience every aspect of your journey, right? So that they can too walk that journey of greatness and be a source of upliftment and inspiration to so many, right? So we need to have that deeper connection, and that's really what embracing vulnerability allows us to do as professionals. Too many times we're asked to just put a mask on ourselves, not show up with your true self to work. And in order to break through those boundaries and even be brave and leap, in some cases, leap out of the corporate world, so to speak, and enter into the entrepreneurial space, that takes a lot of self-examination, and that takes a lot of release, right? So as you release, you're really gaining strength. And not only that, others are gaining from that release as well. They're being strengthened as well. And so you have an amazing legacy that you're leaving behind. So this call here, I would say, to action is really a call for all the amazing, resilient women leaders out there in corporate America or corporate around the world who are sitting on their stories that can really help someone do more than survive another day. Give them hope in their experiences that they too can make it to the top because they've seen you do it. Leave one space for another, reinvent yourself, rebrand yourself. That comeback journey, that experience, they've seen that's their only hope each day. So think about what you're giving them and leaving that lasting legacy when you share your story here in such a powerful way on the Power Within anthology. So many benefits, but the main one is you want to leave that footprint. You want to leave some understanding of your life. Don't let anyone else take that power by talking for you about your experiences. You know it best. And when you leave it with others, not only your children and grandchildren, everyone gets to experience how powerful of an ancestral line and legacy that they have. But so many women who are sitting and waiting on the sidelines to step into their greatness, they get that boost through to be able to do that. And what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world we'll be experiencing as a people when those formative stories are shared. Remarkable.
Oh, my. I love how you are putting your words together and how they flow, because now what you're talking about, and I love the way you expressed it and shared it with us, is this vulnerability is the pivotal point of self-examination. And how do you want to leave your footprint? And remember, we're global. We go all over the world. So we're not talking about just here in the States where you and I are. And this book that you've written, let's talk a little bit about this, because in this, you're saying the power within, from corporate loss to entrepreneurial triumph. And we're talking about 101 women. Now, are these women that you interviewed all over the world, Saskia, that are sharing with us their up, down, and about and how they thrived and got back into the professional world?
So this is an open call for those women to actually contribute their story.
The
book has not been written yet. I actually had the opportunity to share my stories of resilience and empowerment, all 10 of them that represent the different themes that will be explored in this series of 10 anthologies. So I led the way already, but it has not been published. I really want to give the opportunity to the corporate community or former corporate community members to really share their story and put their legacy on the map. So the best way for me to do that is to create this amazing platform where they can do that. They can have that amazing collective press release, right? Take advantage of that opportunity that we're offering them and have that sense, be in that community that they've been longing for, a community of strengthening and purpose. So it's an open call for 101 resilient souls, women, in this particular case for the first anthology, from corporate loss to entrepreneur triumph. And I can't tell you what you're starting, this movement you're starting when you answer this call today. It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility that you have because you have made it in terms of your entrepreneurial success after the corporate era. We need to hear about that.
This is fantastic. This is so fantastic. I misread this, so I'm happy that it's an open call. So Saskia, how are they? We have the link here, but we're audio. So is there a website or a place that they can connect with you so they can sign up? Because I'm sure that there are lots of women out there who are professionals, will always be, but who maybe lost their positions for whatever, maybe because of the pandemic, and now they're looking and seeking another position. They want to share their stories. So how do they connect with you?
Yes, and so you're absolutely right. There are lots of women out there who have gone through corporate stress cycles and burnouts and experience layoffs and those things, and they're eager to tell their story, to leave that legacy, and they can do so by just claiming their chapter now at celebrityboss.com/from-corporate-loss-to-entrepreneurial triumph. So that's really the link. The link can be shared in the show notes here. But once you go on there, it's a whole experience. You will be led through that journey. You will be coached on really how you can really put forward in your own words, in your own expression, the best way to the world.
I think that's so pioneering and female frontrunner, trailblazing, female characteristics of you to be doing this, because I know how much is needed. And a poster like this, even though we're audio, this is where we're going to find a place for you to put this on, which I'm sure you're doing, into different groups, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever, so that women can come to you. And we're not sexist here. We report and we relay and we interview both male and female. But this is really phenomenal. I just think it's fantastic. And I love the title, The Power Within. You come up with great titles. Boost Through, The Power Within, and so on. How are you supporting, how would you make it succinct and give us clarity about how you reframe challenges as opportunities? How are you supporting those who are still maybe stumbling to be able to do that? To take what was considered a challenge and turn it into an opportunity. That's a biggie. How are you supporting people to do that?
Yeah, so I must say, based on all of my offerings, everything I've done in terms of my resilience workshops that I taught and teaching, this year, next one is in July, is really all about coaching others, encouraging others to view those setbacks or obstacles not as failures, but as chances for growth, transformation, learning, and development. And that's why a lot of my workshop offerings, the topics will be like breaking barriers in AI for entrepreneurs and women leaders. And I have to say that the Power Within is not only reserved for women leaders, it's also open to leaders as well. They have their story. We have story about veterans, overcoming marginalization in business. So we have another 9 anthologies that fellow professionals can actually take advantage of as well. This is just the beginning. The beginning of a movement of people sharing those stories that you've always said that you're going to write a book one day, but it's just not happening. We are giving you that platform with the very best professionals I've actually partnered with in the industry in terms of journalism and marketing, so that you can actually have that experience, the first experience that will be unforgettable, not just for you, but for the world. That much to leave that footprint. Why would you leave this world where no one knows your name, no one knows your story, no one knows how arduous that journey has been, every day working those corporate nights, enduring, right? We need to be able to feel that, and we need to see that crossover in your own words, experience it deep, so that it can be emulated across the globe. And that's what I am here for, all about setbacks to opportunities and comebacks, so we can have this global phenomena of resilience. Release.
Saskia, it is like it's like a movement. It is a legacy. The footprint that you're offering others to come aboard and to share with you. And you know everything that you're sharing with us. But what you said that is going to resonate not only with me, but the millions of others who will be tuning in and listening. A setback is not a setback or a failure. It's an opportunity for growth. And so what you're offering, and with the support group that we're going to go into next, is a way to discover their own secret sauce so they can navigate and mastermind what they need to do moving forward. Because that's what we're talking about. Because you're all about supporting others to uplift themselves and to thrive in the process of doing so, and to know that they have a purpose and a reason for being here, and that discovery. So this building a support group, how are you doing that? What are you sharing with the millions of men and women? And it will be that in time, because this is a movement. We'll support them in the building a support network that they can all come and gather into from time to time to support, aid, and assist each other. I love support groups because it's just another form of saying a community.
Yes. Thank you so much for asking me that. It's really all about that power. You notice I'm saying the word power because that's really what it is. Really, extremely powerful. Support network, where we create and nurture relationships among professionals, right? Providing them with emotional, informational, and practical assistance that they need. So it's a network of mentors, colleagues, and peers we're looking to create. Those who can uplift and empower one another. We're creating that power circle of story contributors that will always be remembered. May they be remembered by that shift that they've caused. People said, yes, that this is possible. Yes, I don't have to see myself in this narrow lens and my 9-to-5 job. It's not all that I'm meant for, regardless of whether I want to stay there or not. The point is, I know that I have a responsibility to leave a lasting mark of the uniqueness in my journey, because not everybody's journey is the same. So you're getting that support from that power circle during challenging times. So as you tell your story and everybody tells their story, everyone is able to extract richness, right? So many nuggets from those transformative stories being told. And so as that happens, right, an entire community of people is built up. It's more like a sisterhood. It's a sisterhood, and in the case of the latter anthologies, the anthologies to come, it's a brotherhood that we're building of professionals, right? So because we all have that responsibility to hear from each other, the voices, the male voices as well as the female voices in leadership, business leadership, need to be heard. And we need to hear from the women's voices just as much as we're hearing from the men's voices, because we all know, right, that encouragement comes in many ways and different forms. But people, most of the time, professionals like to hear from leaders who look like them, who experience the same things like them. And that's why I've done not more than this anthology. My whole life is devoted to this, right? Because I have devoted to breaking barriers, to uplifting women leaders so they can see themselves all the way to the top. And those who are there to understand that you are not alone. There are women, fellow women, who are experiencing this walk with you. Here are the tips on how you're going to make it through another day and thrive and have that winning legacy.
Saskia, you're talking about the power within, and I like your words as you're using them. The power circle. You can say the power group, the power tribe. Yes. It is about family. It is about relationships and community. Correct. No matter what you're doing and what you're inputting under those umbrellas, but any and everything goes under them. And the magic bullet is what you're talking about and how you're sharing it with us, because we're never really alone, and how we learn to communicate and connect with others is the power within. But first, we have to really, truly understand ourselves. Yeah. And that's why when you start off with vulnerability, the honesty with ourselves about our strengths and our weaknesses and how we all need each other, that's really powerful, because that's how you begin to advocate not only for yourself, but for others. So how are you tying that together? Good for you. Yes, love it.
Yes. And really it's about, advocating for yourself means really taking that initiative to express your needs. They are important. Your rights and interests, whether it's in a personal setting or whether it's in a professional setting. It involves confidence in communicating one's value. Valuable, and seeking recognition and opportunities
Yes. Yes.
That's what self-advocacy is.
Well, when you talk about, you bring up a word that's really important, because first off, the reason that we're connected and there's such a divine connection here, divine is one of my favorite words, because I'm all about divine masculine and divine femininity. But my concentration is on divine femininity, because it's time for us to own our power. But you can't own that without knowing your vulnerability, knowing who you are, embracing the beauty, the strength, and the so-so of you, because we all have it, right? Yes. And I don't use the word ugly because I don't really see ugly, and I'm not trying to be Mother Teresa, but it's not there. I see opportunities. I see chance for advancement and uplifting and upgrowing and everything that's positive. So I get that. When you talk about building a support circle, network, team, how are you doing that with this Power Within and the group of women and men that you're going to be working with? What is your aim in being able to support that?
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, we're all about the collective, right? Because collective is power.
Exactly.
So as that press release takes place, that's why we're just doing one joint press release with everyone, all the top premium outlets, all the contributors of this book. And then we'll be creating a mastermind. I'll be creating a mastermind community for us, all the amazing, trailblazing story contributors to be, participants in this mastermind community, where we can have continuous giving back. It doesn't just end there with your story, right? We are leaving a legacy, so we have to continue. It's not something where you just write your story and that's that. Again, it's a responsibility that you have as a professional. And so that's really what we're about.
Woo! You're about a lot of good stuff. And I like to say that my phone or something is always knocking things around. But you use a word that's endearing to me, because it's what I'm about for women, especially today, because of our programming and conditioning and how we've been sexualized, objectified, and marginalized. It's time for change, big time change. That's why I've labeled myself, I don't know where that noise is coming from.
Yes,
it's time. That's why I've labeled myself the minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings, because it's time for us to wake up, because we are the bedrock. That's why the work that you're doing, as far as it becomes the power within, whether it's male or female, it's time for us all to acknowledge and recognize our own sense of self. And in doing so, we are asked to be, and I love this, Saskia, and you will love this too, because as a young girl, I read The Three Musketeers, all for one and one for all, which is what the collective is about. All for one and one for all, because you don't do anything alone. You need a team, and a good supportive team, and a team that maybe is not always 100% on your side, but always there raving for you and applying to get you to where you need to go. So that means we celebrate small wins. So what are some of the small wins that you find that you're supporting the people that you're working with to acknowledge? It goes back to reframing the challenges into opportunities. So what are some of the small wins that you ask people to acknowledge and to be aware of and to build on them as they move forward?
Yes, definitely. And I think most of us as professionals, we tend to underestimate those small victories that we experience in our walk, right? I myself, I have been somebody who's guilty of that, right? So it's really about recognizing and acknowledging those minor achievements, those minor leaps towards those larger goals, right? Because they've all progressed, allowed you to progress towards those larger goals. It's really about appreciating the incremental successes on the path to overall accomplishment and resilience. So really just emphasizing the importance of celebrating small victories. That's why we're encouraging that to be included as part of their story contribution in the Power Within. Right, so that those moments can really boost morale and encourage resilience. So it's really all about there's really nothing like a small win. Every win is significant. And if your community is really relying on your voice to really get stirred up and have that vigor to continue on in their corporate roles and responsibilities even, right? Because there is hope. I'm just not necessarily made only for this. There's so much more to my story that I can explore. And these are the victories that I'm having right now. They all contribute towards that lasting legacy that I want to leave. So that's why it's very important for those small wins to be dissected within those contributions. And that's what we are here about. We have really experienced journalists, ghostwriters, right, who are here working on this platform with me on the power within to help you do just that.
I'm just loving the way you're stringing your words together here, because I'm a wordsmith in my fashion. I have to say, you keep using, and I love it that you do the word legacy and movement, because they're very endearing to me. And one of the things that I heard the other day, Saskia, and I think you'll love this, is this lady said that when corporate businesses are very much involved with their strategy, that's a temporal kind of thing. But when they're involved more with the culture of the environment that they're in and the people who are working with them, that's legacy, that's longevity. And you can think of the different companies who are offering that. And what I want to share with you is that you're constantly saying, too, in the best way, that we're part of the collective and it's a mastermind. Tell us how you are recognized. Brag on yourself a wee bit about all of these global awards that you've been honored with, because you have quite a few that I'm reading through here. Share with us a little bit about that, because we think global, because we are all one, all for one and one for all. So I've seen 3 here that you've been acknowledged for, but tell us a little bit about that, because people do like to celebrate you, and knowing that you're not coming with just rhetoric, jargon, and verbiage, that there's substance behind it. So share.
Absolutely right. And thank you so much. I have to say the substance I'm coming along with here, it's just been a gift. Again, that really just encouraged me or reassured me that I am indeed the one that's best positioned to lead in this particular journey of resilience, global resilience movement around, obviously around the world. And so since leaving corporate, I've had, again, a plethora of global awards, a community championship award from Luwani, Leaders of All Nations International, and the Brains Career Global Award, Marquis Who Top Engineer and Empowerment Coach Award. And that really just cemented the essence of who I am and my calling. That is my purpose. It's not really it was never meant to brag. It is really meant to encourage someone that, yes, I was an engineer, chemical engineer, which I had worked really hard to get my degrees and so forth. But I was really still sitting on the sidelines with all those gifts that I had that could touch the world in such a magnificent way. And so they all came rushing in, those accolades came rushing in to reinforce, who I was and what my purpose was for this world.
I thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Because what I find is so many times people have such phenomenal, fantastic backgrounds, and it's not about bragging. It's about sharing. It's about encouraging others to know it is possible. And the stories that you shared about being a chemical engineer and how you've masterminded all this wonderful stuff that you're doing, I think is more than beyond. The power of the work that you're doing is really awesome, because it's needed. We as women and men and women all over the world, it's about an awakening to own who we are and to do it without an ego that's overblown and out of proportion to the realities of now, and to have the humanity and love within our heart and soul connected. That's my purpose, and it's so aligned with yours. This book, tell us before we wrap up here and end, because we all like stories. Saskia, we all like stories. So share with us, not you, maybe your story, but share with us a story without divulging any names of someone that you know that's in this, the power within, 101 women who faced job loss and burnout and built a resilient life after that and a thriving business. Which individual, without any name sharing, can you share with us a little bit about a story that will empower, impact, and uplift others who are tuning in and listening?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to share because the call is still open right now for women leaders to join in on this movement of a lifetime. But I can simply say I was one of them.
Good.
I am one of those leaders who've experienced, corporate stress and burnout like none other. I was lost in self. I really didn't have any idea of the full potency of my life and calling, which is really not only to heal, but also to help others really see themselves in the best light, just as they deserve. And so that's why I'm leading this call today for women out there to really do some self-reflection, right? To sit down with a cup of tea and think about it. Let those moments count for something, right? I didn't want those experiences to really go unnoticed, right? Those struggles and, being overlooked and those things to go unnoticed, right? Because people normally see, the shining moments after the fact, right? But when they're actually walk through the entire experience and they realize, oh, this is me. I can do this too. I can do that too, right? So yes, there are women who are, interested in being part of this amazing, amazing movement. Call it, because that's really what it is.
It is. Let me ask you something. I don't shy away from questions, and I'm just going to ask it. I might have the answer, but every answer will be different, contingent upon the individual. Why do you think so many men and women with job losses and burnout, the reason for the job loss, some of us can kind of understand, but the burnout, why do you think that occurs? Because we don't know how to say no. I'm saying we because we are all a part of everything. Or is it because it's not really the right feel or energy that you're working in that's aligned to your DNA and heart and soul? Give us some reasons that you think maybe, or that this burnout is a cause for so many now back in the job market outside of the pandemic, which hit and took many, many jobs away.
Yes. And it's a combination thereof, Joy. I mean,
yes.
It would be nice of me to say that, it's just this particular one thing, but it's a combination of factors, like the boundaries, lacking of boundaries, and not able to tell someone or tell your managers and so forth, I can work on this, I can work on this later, let's just have priorities, I can work on that. As simple as it is, I find, and women professionals, we tend to be the ones who are, lacking particular respect. Where you want to be a Mother Teresa, so to speak, on the job and be a superpower, superwoman. But that is really not practical, because when you give of yourself selectively, that's when the most excellence comes out, and the world benefits. Not only you benefit from your health and your well-being, but the entire world benefits as well. So why I say this is a movement, it is a shift where it's an invitation for women and for men to demand, but go after their own healing and breakthrough transformation, because they've earned that. It's not something you have to ask permission to do, right? So it's boundaries, and it's the environment too that's demanding and expecting so much. Yeah.
I'm so glad you ended with that, Saskia, and I'm so glad that this is how we're ending and wrapping it up for now, because my intuitive knowing was that this was probably the reason, one of the main reasons, the burnout, and that is probably, I don't have statistics, I don't know if you have, probably more prevalent within women, because for all the reasons of our intuitive and our nurturing and all of that, we're not owning the power, and we don't really have not acquired yet the ability to say, no, I don't think that's right for me right here and now, or whatever the reason might be. And it is a shift. It's a major shift for all of us. And I'm just honored that you could come and share the time and space with us. Listen, the time flies here. Give us some tips, tools, and nuggets of what you want to leave us with, what you want the takeaway to be. Tell us more about your Power Within booklet and how you're getting people to come and sign up to be a part of this chapter, the book, The Power Within, which is a book that you're compiling now to put onto the market. So just give us any pearls of wisdom, takeaway that you want to leave us with. And thank you for today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been just a phenomenal experience here being on your show, as always, because you're just a fantastic leader, I have to say. And so the question I would leave the audience, the listening audience here with would be, what is it costing you to not be in this breakthrough transformational book, The Power Within, today, and claim your chapter? What is holding you back from claiming your chapter and telling your story in the most eloquent, meaningful, life-changing, impactful way? In your own words, with amazing professionals to guide you along on that journey of sharing. What is holding you back from leaving that legacy, that footprint, for others to follow and to be encouraged to do amazing things in this world? The world needs you. So you can actually reach me at boostthrough.com. That's my website. Or you can also reach me on my LinkedIn profile at linkedin.com/in/Saskia-Christian. I'm very active on these platforms along with Instagram, the Boost Through, as well as Facebook. And I look forward to hearing how I can help you to reveal your amazing story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saskia Christian. Thank you so much for being a guest with us today. The information that you shared with us was very, very informative, full of love, wisdom, and powerful. So thank you. I'll be with you in just a second. And all of you who are tuning in and listening, thank you for tuning in to Leaders in Light, Love, and Legacy. You've just heard from a great leader today who's all about your empowerment. I am Joy Ruffen, your minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings. It's time for a big awakening. I'm sure that many of you are feeling it. If something in today's conversation struck a chord with you, let's keep the conversation going. Connect with Saskia Christian on LinkedIn and Facebook and all the other social media platforms. And make sure that you become a part of this wonderful book she's writing, The Power Within. We are spreading good news, good information, uplifting insights all over the globe. So you can also reach me directly, and I have no guilt or shame in giving you this number. You can text or call, however, 772-240-9810. And yes, that line leads directly to me. And visit with me today if today's conversation sparks something within you. You're ready to go deeper. Visit with me at joyruffen.com. You'll always find a space to connect, explore, and tap into free resources that change and grow as we do. Whether it's style, leadership, divine femininity, equality, or the powerful you. In living your truth, we're always here for you. Remember, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're here and eager to connect with you right here on Zen Radio /Fave, Unite Radio FM. Sending you much love from my heart to yours always. Cheers.